I'm just going to let this play first so we get a background of the game's story. And then we'll move on from there.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved. I will do my best to save him, my lord, Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins. I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee, Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you. Yes, Lord, anything, Isaac's mother begged. To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son, Isaac, will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else. Yes, Lord, she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
Okay, so I'm going to call this, I guess, episode 0 of this game. I'm just going to go over a couple little things, a little bit about the history of the game, the same way I did with Rogue Legacy. Won't be any gameplay in this video, but this should be relatively short. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the game, explain a little bit about it and whatnot. I just deleted my 100% file. I thought I had a while ago went back down to 0 instead of 100% achievements, but I deleted it a long time ago and then just opened this game, not upload it. And as soon as I opened it, I got all the achievements again. I forgot that I had to go into the collection and delete the save. So what I just want to talk about this game. I will, as I'm playing it, I'm going to discuss a lot of difference between this game and Rebirth. I gotta get used to that. A lot of differences between this game and Rebirth, its sequel, which is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Rebirth is an absolute 10 out of 10 as far as games go. This game, Rogue Legacy, I said, is probably between a 7.5 to an 8.5 out of 10. This game is a pretty solid 8 out of 10. Really, really great. Doesn't have as much variety as Rebirth, but I'm not going to try it. I'm going to look for what this game does better than Rebirth, if and when I do compare it. But I will be using Rebirth as a big point of comparison because a lot of people who might watch this would probably know that a lot better. This game came after a Flash game, which had reasonable success, and they parlayed that into the massive content creation monster that is The Binding of Isaac. These guys right here did it, actually. I don't know if my mouse cursor is up. I'm hoping it's not. I'm checking that right now. Oh, my cursor does show. Let's change that. Capture cursor. Okay, off. Okay, well, going back to this. Also, in the top left up there, I will be using my eye tracker again for this whole series. I think it will be useful. We can monetize anything we want in this game. We're not monetizing, but we are recording this. And thanks, Edmund and Mr. Florian. I appreciate both of you. Ed McMillan and Florian Himsel, I believe they devved the original Flash game, then they devved this together, a more full-fledged version. Florian Himsel wasn't on board for the sequel. Ed McMillan, after a falling out, I believe it's actually somewhat mentioned in Indie Game the Movie. You might know of this game from that. Florian and Ed are still on, like, not the best terms, but they still talk to each other occasionally. You can see mild Twitter interaction. It's not all bad blood, but it's not. I don't think there's going to be another collaboration anytime soon. So Ed went to Nicholas, a producer, and worked with Tyrone Rodriguez. So it was Ed and Tyrone, and they just blasted through Rebirth, then Afterbirth, then Afterbirth Plus, then all the booster packs, and now looking at Repentance. I got 100% in that game too. I did delete those as well. Except for the Forgotten update, the last booster pack, when they added all the achievements, I didn't get 100% in that. So I've never played as the Forgotten. I will eventually play that game on stream, but once they're past the point where they don't want to make any more DLC or achievements or any more extras, which might be for a long time. Matthias Bozzi, or Bozzi, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. His narration honestly rivals Wayne June's in Darkest Dungeons for me. And the narrator whose name I cannot recall from Bastion even. Some really, really solid narration. So, this is an incredibly sacrilegious and scatalogical game, which I'm fine with. You know, I find it funny, interesting. There's a lot of biblical depth and profundity that's explored in this game. A lot of it. It's a top-down twin-stick shooter. It's very difficult. I argue that this game is more difficult than Rebirth, and including all of its extra stuff. It's because the build variety is a lot less, and less is not more in Binding of Isaac. The game kind of tries to balance itself between having overpowered runs and underpowered runs. And it's what you do with the underpowered runs that evidences your skill. However, you can make almost any run overpowered, theoretically, if you know how to break the game, which I do. But I haven't put myself to any practice in this game, so we'll see how I do. I put myself through a little bit of practice with Rogue Legacy inadvertently by when my first 4 runs got deleted. So I did pretty well. This game I'm coming in dry, not moistened up with years of agglutinated technique as I did when I took this game on, including a lot of leaving the game on overnight or when I went to work long ago. It took me 194 hours to get 100% achievements. Now, again, I left the game on a lot. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's how long it took via Steam. This is also a roguelite, which, much like Rogue Legacy, a roguelite, every run is different, self-contained in and of itself. It's, they're fun. It's not like... This game has a lot of unlockables instead of Rogue Legacy where you level up and every run is indicated by the former. This one is not necessarily contextualized by what you did in the last run. There's a lot of different characters in this game, all of which have different attributes. We're going to do one regular run, and then I'm going to do straight into the challenges. So the goal is, the first run is to beat Mom, the first gated boss, well, the first big final, heavy quotation marks there, the first big final boss there. And then we'll do all the challenges, because I want to unlock things as hastily as I possibly can. I'm anticipating this is going to take, I'm going to say between 60 and 100 runs, which I think will be about 60 to 75 hours of gameplay. It's a lot. There's a lot to explain in-game, so we'll get into that. As you can see when I was in here, secrets, there's 113 secrets, 113 unlockables in the game. As far as achievements go, there are 82 plus 5, 8, 91, 4, 7, 99 achievements. Just trying to remember my stats before I deleted this. My deaths were at 399 or something, and my mom kills I think were at like just over 100, and the items I had maxed out I think at 198. I had all 13 endings, all 113 secrets. The challenges, there's 10. Each one will unlock something. Each one, adds a challenge to your gameplay on top of the already normal, difficult gameplay that exists in the game. Options, I just changed everything up to the highest settings, really. I don't alter the controls at all. I don't use a joypad. I don't actually use a mouse. I use the WASD and the arrow keys, with the exception of one item. That item is Epic Fetus, which is the best item in the game. I will use the mouse for that, and that will become evident when I get that. That's actually unlocked through, I think, one of these challenges here. I think it's 6, 7, or 8. I don't remember. But I have a pretty good memory. Nigh photographic. Especially for long-term stuff. I can remember stuff for a long time. But, you know, photographic memories, eidetic memories don't actually exist in a conventionally understood sense. But I have a good memory at any rate. I don't know why I'm vaunting about that, but it's decent. So, that's about all I've got to say about this game, I think. Is there anything else that I really want to add to this? I'll go into the start menu without starting the game. There's 7 characters. You see there's only 6 here at the moment. There is a 7th secret one. Isaac is your basic character. You can select randoms. Hard mode we will have to do eventually. But this game doesn't have completion marks in the same way that Rebirth does, so there's no necessary reason to start in hard mode. Hard mode is eternal mode in this game, which is harder than the hard mode in Rebirth by a large margin. So Isaac's your base character. He unlocks the D6. He's basically the run king. He's the best character in the game once you unlock a certain item for him. And characters will get certain items unlocked for them after you do or complete certain goals. Maggie, she's the tank. She can heal herself pretty well and has more HP, but she's really slow. Cain is really, really lucky and the second best character in the game, in my opinion. There's Judas, who is the most powerful character, but very, very low. He's a glass cannon. Then there's Blue Baby, who has no red hearts. And then we have Eve, who is the high-risk, high-reward character. We have Samson, who is a monster of a character, but it'll be a while till we unlock Samson, honestly, because it's going to be a while till I just naturally pass 2 treasure rooms. Because I want to pick up everything as soon as possible, because that is a completionist item. Hard mode will make enemies more difficult, drops more scarce, just everything will get rougher. I want to have a lot unlocked when I get that. Everything I kind of wrote down to describe it is sort of done, so welcome to Binding of Isaac. Expect me to do this between, could be as many as 100 hours. You know, a run typically lasts about 100 hours, or 1 hour sometimes. It depends on how slow you go. You know, I can do a run in 15 minutes, I can do a run in an hour. Normally I'm going to err on the slow side because I want to guarantee a win. And that's about it. Just to remind you, my name is John, or Gaff196. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, but remember that's not necessary. Your view is the only metric that we need to see go up. I appreciate those above all else. If you want to support the stream in an additional way, I recommend you like or comment or subscribe or anything like that to apply additional bump ups to my videos. I appreciate you watching in any faculty, even if you do it for a couple of minutes. I know my voice can be a little bit grating at times, or maybe I'll be quiet for too long, or maybe my gameplay's not quite up to snuff. You know, a lot of people have seen this game. These are content farms. I'm not trying to do it that way. I'm just doing 100% and that's it. Then we move on. This is not like the daily game, or we're going to do a daily ascension run. No. We're just playing a game. I'm doing this because it's already been done, and again, this is a portal to my own nostalgia to play this game again, which is fun, at times frustrating, but mostly fun. So that's it for me. I'll probably going to do the first episode right away. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.